So it's upgrade time, and you're eyeing up a CSL DD. Here are a few things that I wish I knew before buying the CSL DD and things you should keep an eye out for. And I'll also do a light comparison with the Logitech G29 against the CSL DD, but nothing too technical. One more thing, I'm using the Heusinkveld sprint pedals and the CSL DD on the Playseat challenge. So if you're thinking about how you're going to mount the CSL DD onto the Playseat, I've got some tips for you as well. So earlier this year, I pulled the plug, threw all my money at Fanatec and got this. And the V2.5 Formula rim. It's quite important to mention that the shipment cost was 27 euros and the VAT cost was 136 pounds. So, I mean, already it's not cheap. But anyway, we move on. I was going to do an unboxing video, but I didn't like the way the footage came out. So we're just going to go straight into the comparison. The force feedback of the G29 is what I would say to be good enough. Wow. It's quite vague. It lacks certain information for both immersion and to allow the driver to have the most control over the car. That being said, it's not very responsive, and there'll be some situations where you hit a curb and before you can react, but it does everything that you would expect from a 2 Newton meter gear driven wheel. And especially when you consider the price of just about 179 pounds, you get the wheelbase, the wheel and the pedal. This makes this wheel excellent for entry into sim racing. But if this is a serious hobby for you, not long afterwards, you're going to be looking for an upgrade. On the other hand, with the CSL DD, it's very, very responsive. You get situations where you have snap oversteer you have to correct immediately, and the wheel tells you instantly the information that you need to then correct the car while not losing too much time. Even to the way it communicates understeer, there's a distinctive rumble from the wheelbase itself, letting you know that the tires are scrubbing along the ground rather than gripping up. And that's why this wheelbase is so much better than the G29, because of the nuances in force feedback, the power and the responsiveness, while being, as you can see in the video, quite small and compact. There are no fans in it, so it doesn't make any sound. But when driving, I do feel like there's some clicking sounds coming from the wheelbase. Now, it's not too bad.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, okay.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah.
But I was slightly disappointed to hear it. And I think it comes from where the Formula rim connects with the shaft of the CSL DD.
Giggity!
Naturally, with moving parts in the product, you will get some sound due to some friction and flex. It's a little bit undesirable in this case. Another thing that's not quite pleasing to hear is the sound made when pressing the power button. Maybe some better quality materials could have been used instead. With that being said, I don't really work in production, so this might have been the only way. All in all, this wheelbase is a big step up from the G29, and that's something you would expect considering the price. The answer will vary from person to person. All I can say is I don't regret the purchase, to be honest. Yet, I've not had any reliability issues with the wheelbase, and it's pretty customizable, as the FanaLab software does allow you to configure the different rumbles and vibrations that you receive as feedback. Hey, you can even customize the lights on the wheels that you decide to buy. Well, like I said, I don't regret buying this wheelbase at all, and it's definitely making me sim race a lot more because it's just so much more enjoyable. As mentioned, I've mounted my CSL DD to the Playseat challenge. Now to do this, you're going to have to turn the base plate around as I've done in the video. You could either mount the CSL DD to the back of the base plate or in a more forward position. I've opted to mount it towards the back. And the screws underneath in a triangle configuration is how I've mounted the CSL DD onto the base plate itself. Fanatec annoyingly don't send you the screws that you need to mount the base to any kind of rig, but it's understandable considering the different sim rig solutions that people have. However, for this, I've used, I think, 15 or 20 millimeter M6 screws that you can pick up at any kind of hardware store, and they should do the job. Hardware store, and they should do the job. Pussy. But that brings us to the end of the video. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Consider liking the video, subscribing, leaving a comment. And if you'd like to see how I've mounted my Heusinkveld sprint pedals onto the Playseat as well, leave a comment below and that could be a video that I work on next. Thanks for watching. See you later.